Hello, this is Reverend J.L. Franklin, President of the Southwest Louisiana Community Coalition for Action. I want to thank you so much for tuning in to our videos and certainly sharing them on your Facebook page and other social media outlets. We really appreciate what you do. People ask us all the time how they can become a member of the Southwest Louisiana Community Coalition for Action. All you have to do is call the Freedom Fighter hotline number 337-215-5353. We would love for you to come aboard and help us fight for justice and equality for all right here in our own backyard. If you would like to send us a contribution, and I pray that you would, then you can send your contribution, large or small, to the Southwest Louisiana Community Coalition for Action, P.O. Box 836, Lake Charles, Louisiana 70602. Listen, we really need your help to help us stay on the front line in the fight. Everybody knows, that's right, everybody knows that we are not afraid to say and do what most people think. Now, if you can't help us fight, please send a contribution to help us fight. As always, I want to thank our staff who make all of these videos possible. And please take time to go in the archives on our video channel and review those videos, and you will see that we are not afraid to stand up for what's right. Now, let's get right into our segment today, because the president's viewpoint today is entitled, "We Told You So." That's right, we told you so. In fact, we did a segment on September the 4th, 2019, that was entitled, you may remember this one, "Beware, Beware. A few bad city cops may be on the loose in Lake Charles, Louisiana." Surely you remember that one. And if you don't, then just go to the YouTube channel. You can check out the videos, and you can check this video out. It was about a few police officers in Lake Charles brutally attacking a man after chase. Yeah, there's another video on the YouTube channel. Please, you can see this on dash cam. Former officer pleading guilty for excessive force. And on those videos, you're going to see a man who's noted as Mr. GT. He's getting the hell beat out of him by a Lake Charles police officer. Now, please don't take my word. You can see that for yourself. But we told you about this occurrence happened on May 8th, 2017. And the reason why we're talking about it now is because nobody knew about it until it got to federal court. Guess what? Just 2 months ago, of course. And now we're having to speak about that. But the police stopped the car. The driver, Mr. GT, raised his hands in the air to surrender. They did not resist the officers, and they began to pull him out of the car. Officer Robert Hamick. That's right. Officer Robert Hamick, one of Lake Charles' finest. I mean, the documents, the court documents tell us they ran the front passenger side door, opened, grabbed Mr. GT before he could exit. They pulled him back into the car, repeatedly punched his head with a closed fist. You've got to get this. You've got to look at the court records on this. And he violated this man's constitutional rights, all right? Then, of course, not only that, but he went to work. After that occurrence, he was allowed to go to work for another police department in Moss Point, Mississippi. But the feds prosecuted him. He pled guilty to using excessive force. Now, you got to get this, because we told you. He faced 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. Well, I want to tell you, I have to tell you that on last week, that's right, on Tuesday, November the 19th, 2019, you got to get ready for what I'm about to tell you. I told you he was facing 10 years, but I want to tell you, he didn't get 10 years. But let me tell you what he did get. Look at the American press. 18 months. That's right. 18 months. Now, this man got the hell beat out of him. He was deprived of his rights. Used excessive force. He only got 18 months. Well, by the time they get through processing him, Officer Hamick will be in a halfway house, headed home. Then, not only this, but there's a second officer, Officer Jared Abair. My goodness. What Officer Hamick didn't do, Officer Abair did do. You can read the court record, striking this man 20 to 30 times. It was like a Rodney King beatdown. And then, of course, he pled guilty. And his sentencing date is December the 3rd. Then we have another officer in another incident. That's right. another one of Lake Charles' finest, Colin Clerkley. Yeah, he is he's facing charges in federal court. He pled guilty. There's a misdemeanor count of deprivation of rights under the color of law for an unrelated incident in 2017. And both Hebert and Clerkley they resigned. And then Officer Clerkley, his sentencing is also on December the 3rd, 2019. Now, this is what's interesting. The city of Lake Charles, Mayor Nick Hunter, said in documentation, there was no discipline that resulted from the pursuit of Mr. Clerkley. So, but yet soon thereafter, the feds, and he pled guilty. I have to tell you, the Southwest Louisiana Community Coalition for Action, last week, we met with Mayor Nick Hunter. We talked about several things, and we met with his staff. We met with him about what's happening here in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and with our police department. They have a new police chief, Chief Sean Caldwell, but they still have some of the same old problems. And let me say that it's not all officers are bad. We know that, because there's some good, decent, and honorable men and women who go above and beyond the call of duty. And we commend them. I want you to understand, we commend those who are doing the right thing. They have a huge task to protect and serve. But you have some officers here who think that they are John Wayne and Clint Eastwood, and they have no respect themselves for the law. No charges were filed, this is the interesting thing, by the city or even by the parish DA. And that question is why? Well, I'll let you answer that question, but we told you so. Now, you can imagine what they're going to get. If Officer Hamick only got 18 months, can you imagine what Officer Jarrett is going to get? I doubt any time, and probably the same or less time than what Robert Hamick got. But then, those of us who live here also remember a very fine officer, African-American brother, Mr. T.J. Bell. They merely ruined his life. They brought erroneous charges against him. But the lower courts sided with Mr. Bell. But that didn't matter, because the city and the DA, they kept, just kept right on until finally, the charges were dropped. But Officer Bell's life has been shattered because of their actions. Now, in our meeting with the mayor, we vowed, of course, we would work with the mayor. And here's what we need. We said we need more African Americans on the police force. It's a shame. They told us, we asking for the figures. There are 185 officers. That's right, police officers in this city. And can you believe this? Less than 20 of them are African Americans. Wow. Over 185 and less than 20 are black. Every time you drive in the hood, you see 3 or 4 police cars, white officers stopping blacks for no offenses and minor offenses. I have to admit that I was a victim. I myself was a victim of racial profiling. White officer stopped me and said, of course, that when I asked the officer, what are you stopping me? What did I do? Officer, of course, said, well, your license plate is stolen. And I said, stolen? Well, I just left the DMV earlier that day just to renew my tags. But I was stopped that night. All right, so, they apologize. But let me just tell you, we have a lot of problems. They're here to protect and serve, but not to shoot and kill. We're going to keep you posted on these sentencing dates. But remember, we told you so. Now, I'm closing on this note, of course, that Mr. Justin Landry, you remember January 11th, early part of this year, he was shot down like a piece of meat. But the city settled, and many of you may not know that, offered a settlement to the family. Now, we're going to stay involved. This is Reverend J.L. Franklin, President of the Southwest Louisiana Community Coalition for Action. Let me tell you what we're doing. We're building a community of justice and equality for all. And listen, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Until next time, God bless.